if you have ever been in a situation where you're unsure, should I just express myself, let them know how I feel, or better keep it within? This video will give you a conclusive answer. What is the best way how to approach situations like this for you specifically? And this video is inspired by a recent conversation I had with a client of mine. And she was like, well, I feel like this is unjust situation. And I feel like putting my foot down and let them know what's exactly happening here. However, she didn't want to be look like a bad guy. She wanted to keep safe. So make sure that she's not being attacked, any of those things. And she also wanted to be solution to be spiritual enough. And in this video, I will give you guidance how to keep all these desires behind this question, which is what truly she was asking. She wasn't asking which one is better. She was asking what's the best way for me to fulfill these desires. There might be more, however, these are general ones. And desire behind being bad guy is I want to keep my reputation. Sure, she really wanted to keep her reputation intact. She wanted to remain safe. That's a basic survival need. And she also wanted to be in alignment with the soul. So let's explore. So which one is better? Well, the clear answer is that it's preference only. Like one way is not better than the other one. And I will show you how and why. And personally, I like to keep within, and I believe that great leaders don't project negative emotions. And if they do project emotions, it's a very targeted, very specific, and very conscious act. And it's not really a projection, it's more like a mirroring in a specific container. And yeah, either of them could go wrong, expressing could go wrong, keeping within could go wrong, and either of them could be an ideal solution for you. So let's find that ideal solution. And yeah, let's change the question from which one is better to how do I do it best way that is in alignment with my soul? Because that's a different question, because now it doesn't matter which way you go, and you will know which way is yours, and we will attach that as well. So how do you do it the best is by addressing energy levels. So generally, to be in full alignment of your soul is up here, and lack of soul is down here at 0, and after 1,000, that's where your soul lives. And going through your life, your actions will be most aligned with soul the higher up the scale they are. So basically, your task is what's the next best thing I can do to keep rising on this scale. And often you will find yourself in a situation where, oh, I want to be loving, unconditional love, lovey-dovey, like, yeah, it's unconditional love, everything's fine. Like, and not from a place of arrogance, like how I spoke it right now, unconditional love, I intentionally put in arrogance in there. So it's like, yeah, unconditional love. That's not how unconditional love sounds and feels like. I'm kind of wanting to be there, like a entrepreneur. Like, yeah, I want to be entrepreneur, but I'm not really there yet. So let me pretend I'm unconditionally loving, even though it's laced with arrogance, pride, and superiority. And nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying be brutally honest with yourself, where you're at on a scale, and accept it. Because once you know where you're at, you will know the next best thing for you. So if you're in superiority and arrogance, then maybe just some contentment and neutrality is the next best thing for you. Yeah, so I don't need to be loving, just neutral. Oh, neutral, that sounds fun. Yeah, let's go for neutral here. Like, one is not better than the other. Just simple. Simplicity is the key. So, energy level. So what should you do? So if you find yourself in state of guilt, it's I don't know if I say this thing, I'm gonna feel so much guilt, shame. These thoughts are almost the lowest thing you can do. Staying here and guilting and shaming yourself for something you haven't done or could do is the most misaligned thing you could do to yourself. So almost anything is better than staying here. So don't do this. So If you're here guilting and shaming yourself for keeping things within, then even anger outburst is more authentic. Like literally, yes, that's how it works. Because you're rising on a scale here. If you're fear and worry, like, should I do this? Should I not? Like, which one is better? Asking this question usually comes from someone in worry. Like, yeah, which one is it? Like, I feel like there's a right choice here to make, and I don't want to make the wrong choice. Like, which one is better? So this usually would come from a place of fear. And again, anything is better than staying here in fear. So any action is better. Like even anger outbursts at this point is more authentic. Like you just like, and I'm not saying you should do that. Like you should go on anger sprees, or coldness sprees, like just ghosting everyone. Like one is not the better at it. Like I mean, it. What I'm gonna say is that anger is more energized and more authentic than worry. So if you have to choose between those two, choose anger. However, I would choose love and fun and the higher spectrum whenever it's available for me. And I would always try to make sure and ensure that it is available to me, because it is. And we'll address that as well. So once deciding, okay, is anger available to me? Okay, once you realize anger is available to you, maybe a bit of complaining is available for you as well. So maybe instead of having anger outbursts that this person who made you feel certain way, which is projecting your power, maybe you can complain to ChatGPT. Maybe that's a bit more aligned, because you're no longer keeping it within. You're no longer risking some kind of attacks at you from anger outbursts. Maybe you just complain a bit. Okay, maybe that's a good way of approaching it. However, once you realize, okay, I'm complaining a bit, but it didn't really resolve anything because you're still in a low and levels of energy. It's 200 is the first one where it's neutral. So maybe I can bit of pride here, a bit of arrogance. Like, yeah, like how could they do this to me? Like, how dare they? Like, I'm this beautiful, magical, uh, divine unicorn. How dare they to say this to me? How dare they do? Like, this would be kind of arrogance. And again, this is more energized than anger. It is, like, there's no doubt about it. Like, it's more authentic to be arrogant than angry. However, if you have to, like, it's if you have a choice, of course. If you have a choice. Uh, Often, the thing is, you don't have a choice, and you just have to go play by hand. Like, this anger is available right now. It's coming at me. It's very strong. What should I do? Well, sometimes you feel like you don't have a choice, and you play like that. So, like, key point here is that, let's say you're going for anger because you feel like you don't have a choice. The worst thing you could do after that is guilt and shame yourself, because you kind of let yourself out, but then you go down here, fear, worry, shame. Oh, what they will do? You kind of sabotaging yourself again, because yes, you allowed yourself anger, you let your steam off, but then what happens? You go back down to the low energy vibes, and it's like, what was the point of letting go anger? Like, it was just a coping mechanism. Okay, let's get back up here to complaints and arrogance. Like, don't go to worries, just get your arrogance sweater on, and it's much better than fear and worry. Because at some point, this fear and arrogance, they do get boring. Like, and actually boredom is the next one. So yeah, the pride and arrogance is just like, it's still draining energy, so you're not gonna stay there for too long, and it could be a comfy place to be in, but life goes on. So don't worry that this is not like a magic sinkhole where you just kind of sentence for life. No, it's not a death sentence. uh, Use your arrogance. However, do know it's still low energy, so eventually you do want to have upgrade up from it. And upgrade from up from it is just a functionality. Maybe I just have a conversation. You, like, how I would do it, like, I would, like, this is my personal preference. I'm not saying this is the best way. This is how I would see this. I would process all the feelings, all the anger within. I don't need to project them. I fulfill myself from within, I neutralize them, I alchemize them, I let them go, I run them out. And this is exactly what I recommend my clients as well. Just process the emotion. Don't suppress it, don't bottle it up. Let it go. Like, let the energy flow. And once I'm at the neutral level, okay, maybe there's a conversation to be had. Like, maybe it's a good idea to let them know that their behavior is not acceptable. That's the least thing I can do, because if I keep on not saying anything, if I always keep within, then they have no clue what they're doing to me. Like, they don't have a clue that this is something I don't appreciate. That would be stupid, right? Like, how stupid would be that? That they thinking in their arrogance, whatever the state they're in, usually there's somewhere up here, like criticism, complaint, or anger. Or so usually, if I'm in a position of being a victim, which is something we also touch on later on in victim triangle. So if I'm in a position of being identified as a victim, then usually the villain would be a few steps up. So the pride, arrogance, anger. So basically, once I'm above that level, so I'm kind of already seeing them above their level, and yeah, maybe they're acting out of their pride, and they feel like they're doing a huge benefit to me by acting that way. Like, they're kind of like a divine intervention happening here. Like, they're happy that they said this thing to me, like, and they would gladly do it again and again and again, because they quite frankly get a kick out of it. They get energy from it. Of course they do, because uh, where does this energy from low levels go? Of course, to the people that higher up, until you realize that actual energy is just flowing through infinitely, so there's no need to steal energy from other people, which is what people do in lower levels here. So yeah, it's like, okay, maybe I should let them know, like, I don't feel like this is a good way to proceed. It's a kind of functional Virgo thing, like, just let's have a conversation here, like, I don't appreciate that. That's it. Like, maybe that's all you need to do. Send them a text, DM, and that's done. Like, if they don't listen, no need to convince, like, or maybe conversation. And above that would be courage, have a bit more intimate conversation. You're maybe make it fun, maybe make a joke with it. So if you're already down here, which is most likely where you were when you asked yourself this question, then these probably not the easiest places to access from those states. However, some of you are really experts in shifting your states of consciousness. Then yeah, I'm having a fun, letting go techniques. Boom, boom, I'm up here, back in my divine goddess vibe. So all good. Let's roll. So yeah, so bit of pride, bit of fun, and back up into love, intuition, appreciation, power. I'm in my power state. Yeah, so that could be you, and all good. Just right away, right away. So that would be the kind of brief overview. No guilt and shame in being and catching yourself in any of these states. No, that it's all about, what do I do next? What's my next choice? And what's the most high choice I can actually take here? And just go for it. Like, better to take some action than to stay in a low state or whatever state you're in. So any upgrade is a welcome upgrade, so go for it. So that would be the conclusive answer to which one is better. Well, anything that feels better is better. So let's go a bit deeper. Like, how do I actually do this? Like, okay, I understand the theory. Like, I understood it like 5 minutes ago. How do I actually do it? And it's all about letting go. Like, literally, you are a soul. So you already have every second of your life coming this 1,000 plus energy flowing to you and through you. So it's like, however, staying down here in these levels, it feels like, well, if I let go, if I stop thinking positive, I'm gonna fall back down to guilt, shame, and death, basically, underneath. Like, this is a very drained place. So if I do nothing, then I'm gonna just fall flat back into a shame. Oh, I don't want that. So let me just hold on to my dear life, to at least a bit of boredom. Like, that sounds like a lot better than down here. It's not the truth. Like, that's illusion, because what's actually true is, if you truly let go of this boredom, then instead of falling down, you just keep on rising up. You're falling into these states of infinite love, unconditional love, ecstasy, bliss. That's where you actually fall into naturally, if you truly allow yourself to let go. And another way, like it could be difficult for you to imagine just falling into a sky. Like if you stopped walking on earth, like if you stop holding on to the earth, you would just literally fly into the sky, and I don't know what happens then. That's a scary thing to do. Like, yeah, it immediately feels like, oh, I'm gonna fly, levitate, and all these things, fun. But imagine, like, what happens then? Like, do you just end up in a stratosphere somewhere? Like, it's cold up there. Like, it's really cold. Like, if you ever flown a plane, you know it's a -30 outside of the plane. So, not a fun place to be, especially if you're coming from warm country, like shorts and t-shirt, like I am. So, this is one way how to see it, gravity inversion. Maybe you resonate with another way how to truly see the reality for it is. It's a rising cork. So imagine you're a cork, very buoyant material, and you just press it down into the ocean, into the water, and you bring it all the way down to the bottom of guilt and shame. Maybe you kind of bring it a bit up, but basically imagine that this 200 is a well, for this case, let's say 100 is a surface of ocean, and you just press the cork underneath. Well, if the cork needs to breathe, then, well, staying down here is not sustainable. It's just a certain amount of minutes or seconds, depending on how good lungs you have. It's not sustainable. It drains you. Suddenly, at some point, you will need to breathe. Let's say that you will need to breathe. And it's not sustainable to be down there. But there's this part of you which is like, no, I need to hold on here. Like this guilt, shame. If I let it go, something worse will happen. I will drop down all the way. Like this is the fear. Fear is always lying. What's the reality? Is what happens to the cork when you let go? It just floats to the top, and it stays at the top, literally. And if it's a helium balloon, then of course it not only rises to the top, it just keeps on rising, even above the ocean level. So, and it actually takes a lot of force to keep a helium balloon underwater, if the balloon is strong enough to actually withhold the pressure needed to put it down there, you know? So it is very difficult to stay down there. And that's the reality. However, because we're so powerful manifestors, we actually pull this off. Like we literally manage to stay for hours and days, and some people are so masterful to stay in guilt and shame for years. And they're still alive. Like how do you do that? Like that's very impressive. Like that's so much strength you put in there, like so much effort. Like wow, that's impressive. I don't want to be there, but just the pure power they put in there, like wow, that's a strong soul. But yeah, basically the lesson here is that you will rise. Like if you do nothing, you will rise. So you just have to do nothing for long enough for you to realize where is top and where is bottom. It's like if you ever gone surfing, and if you kind of go through the washing machine, at some point after being spin, you don't know where the top and bottom is. You get confused, like where's the top, where's the bottom, and it may take a while for you to realize which one is it. And that's what happens to us when we're down here. We're kind of confused where the top and bottom is, and we fear that it's other way around. Don't fear, no need to fear. You're a cork. You're gonna rise to the top if you do nothing and follow your heart and intuition. And again, do nothing doesn't mean inaction. It means do nothing to stop yourself to doing what you truly want to do. So that would be the answer to how do you do it. To do the next thing that feels most aligned with you. And doesn't mean that it feels aligned, it just means more aligned than staying as you are in the same place. It just feels slightly better. So do that. And without fear, because you know you're gonna rise. Because your natural tendency is to rise as gravity inversion. And finally, I want to touch upon a victim triangle or drama triangle, which basically says that many people who ask this question, I'm not saying it's you, however, you might find someone who is in this state, so it's very useful for you to understand the dynamics. And the first one drama triangle requires there to be a villain. So victim requires villain, because without villain there is no victim, and villain requires a victim, because without a victim there is no villain. Like, I could go around, try to kind of victimize people, but if no one gets victimized by me, then it's a very kind of sad existence there. Like, there's no drama happening. Like, what could be more boring than that? Just someone just trying to bully people, but no one gets bullied, and it's like, yeah, it's like very sad, I would say, which is a very low frequency. So don't do that. Have some fun. So what I'm trying to say is that villains usually they usually go up here, like 190, 180, 160, and for there to be a villain, they need someone below them. Like, villain can attack someone up here, but for them to really exercise power over you, for you to become a victim, you need to go below their level. That's what villain means. Bringing someone down below their level. That would be the purest definition of villain. So anyone who's feeling anger at you and make you fearful or worried or shamed for something, well, that's the definition of villain. And fearing, worrying, and shaming yourself is a victim. So don't do that. And you have a choice. Like, these are the roles we play, dynamics taught by society, maybe even your parents. Doesn't matter where it came from. It's a role, it's a theater. Let it go. Pick a better role. And again, there's also this third role, rescuer, which is basically intermediate, which is, okay, I'm gonna be a savior here and split this drama up. But by doing this, they kind of get enmeshed into the drama, and now the victim starts projecting to a rescuer, and yeah, it's a mess. How do you know when you're a rescuer or you actually doing the service by stepping into this triangle? Very simple. As long as there's a victim anywhere, if you see a victim anywhere, you're not doing service. Like, you might have interrupted the pattern, you might have helped them a bit, but essentially, as long as there's a victim, as long as there's a villain, nothing gets done. So the drama continues. So it is as simple as that. So how do you get out of it? Realize that there is no villain, there is no victim, and just go rising up and take care of your own energy. Whatever other people did, none of your business, in a sense, to change them. It's your business to get what you want. Focus on yourself, rise your frequency. Whatever it takes. If it takes arrogance, go for it. Be more arrogant than they are, if they're arrogant. And eventually you just realize, well, I'm actually more than that. Not to place some judgment. It's like, yeah, they can play that game, but it's more fun to be fun. Like, it's kind of a pun. But yeah, it's like, okay, arrogance is still draining. So it comes with this negative kickback. And usually more soulful people, that usually the clients I work with, if I'm too arrogant at some point, I do have a kickback of a bit of a shame and guilt, or at least a worry or fear of, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And that's completely normal, actually. That's a side effect of playing with arrogance, which is those thoughts do come in to be dealt with, to realize the gift of actually, okay, let me let go of the arrogance. Let's go fun instead, where there is no one to be victimized. Like, let's have fun, all of us. Arrogance will be more like, I will have fun, and I don't care what happens with you. And this fun would be like, let's have fun together. And that's how you break out of drama triangle, by realizing that, yeah, I don't need this. Let me just step out of it. You deal with you, and I'm gonna deal with me. And if I need to express anything, I can do it from any state I want, and I have no expectations. I'm just communicating my preferences, and I know they will be met by whoever is meant to meet them. So that will be it. Keep rising, keep having fun with lots of love. Have it.